Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi is hot garbage. So going into The Rise of the Skywalker, I didn't know what to feel. I still had hope for it to be a great finale, but there was still a chance it would end up like The Last Jedi. After finishing the movie, I knew exactly how I felt. Disappointed. Star Wars The Rise of the Skywalker failed at being Star Wars, and it failed at being a finale. Making a finale is a complicated process. Whether it's a season finale, a movie franchise finale, a video game series finale, or a show finale, you need to make sure you line everything up perfectly to make everyone feel satisfied. There are 3 basic steps to making a finale, and they need to be followed to make a great finale. The Rise of the Skywalker decided to do its own thing while attempting to follow the steps, ultimately ending in a complete mess. And once it hit that point of no return, the movie really went downhill. Let's take a look at these 3 steps and analyze where The Rise of the Skywalker went wrong.
You know, I've been coming to this school for 12 years. I've never been friends with anyone here more than a semester.
Step 1. Emotional value. One thing a finale has to do is have the characters that we've been following be in a situation that is shown over the past. This is called character development, and it is vital to anything. What a finale has to do is make sure it pays off the character development by having all of it lead to one moment. It may be a small moment or a big one. The point is that the characters need to grow throughout the show/movie franchise and learn things until the finale, where everything comes together. Now, I've never felt as attached to Rey, Finn, or Poe as much as Luke, Leia, and Han, but I can still feel a bit of character development in The Force Awakens. Not for Rey, but for Finn. We got a lot of that for Finn, and barely any for Poe and Rey, which is why here, instead of the emotional attachment we have to the characters being paid off, we get a bunch of dialogue, fake-out deaths, and forced last-minute character development. This step is mostly enforced by the previous installments, but the finale needs to wrap it all up, and since all the character development we got was for Finn and Kylo, none of the other characters get a say in wrapping it all up. And even at that, the movie doesn't even do a good job at wrapping up the character arcs for Finn and Kylo. We get a forced death for Kylo, and Finn does absolutely nothing in this movie, except meet some tribe people and fight in the final battle. The Force Awakens did a great job at fleshing out Finn and Kylo, but over the next 2 films, their character just fell apart, leading to The Rise of the Skywalker having no emotional value.
I don't think Boomerang's coming back, Toph! It looks like this is the end!
Step 2. High stakes. The next thing a finale has to get right are the stakes. You need to feel like this is the end, like it's all lost, and by doing that, you need high stakes. You need your characters to be in danger for the audience to feel something. That's something a finale needs to have, no matter what, so it can succeed. In The Rise of the Skywalker, it seems like there are high stakes. At first. It becomes obvious that nothing is really going to happen. Once they have a fake-out death for Chewie, then they just continue with the fake-out deaths. They have a fake-out death for C-3PO, they have a fake-out death for this girl who Poe is in love with, they have a fake-out death for this little engineer guy. Then at the start of the movie, they reveal that Palpatine is alive, then Kylo dies, but then not really, but then he's actually dead! None of the stakes matter because they keep on faking everybody's death. At the end of the movie, I didn't feel anything because it never seemed like anyone was in danger, even though Leia and Kylo died. Speaking of Leia's death, it was probably the worst of the original 3 main characters' death. Han's was handled amazingly, having emotional weight on it. Then Luke died a coward, not facing the kid he ruined the life of in The Last Jedi, and then Leia just dies. Luke and Leia's deaths were dishonorable to the legacy they left behind as the main characters of Star Wars. They honestly should have kept C-3PO's mind wiped out, because then that line when he says, "taking one last look at my friends," would actually make me feel something. But even if they did keep 3PO's mind wiped, then that line would still mean nothing, because 3PO barely knows these people. We never got time with him and all of them together for them to actually become friends. The truth is, this movie has no stakes, and when the Endgame ripoff final battle came along, I didn't feel anything. In Endgame, when all the Avengers showed up, it was an incredible moment. I absolutely loved it and had so many reactions. I was actually invested in this story, fearing for the lives of the characters. In this movie, when Lando and all the ships showed up, I felt nothing. I didn't care, and that's what happens when you lose all value of stakes. Nobody ever feels anything.
How does it feel? Like it's someone else's. It isn't.
Step 3. Build up and payoff. So this is it. Final step to a perfect finale. The final step that The Rise of the Skywalker failed at. build up and payoff. A finale has to pay off everything the series/past movies have built up. For example, Aang and Katara's kiss at the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Cap giving a shield to Falcon at the end of Endgame, or even Diggle becoming the Green Lantern at the end of Arrow. Things like those have been built up in the past, and we finally get the payoff, leaving no unanswered questions. Instead of paying off what was built up in the past, The Rise of the Skywalker focuses on the build-up. Things that should have been done in the past are being done here, and this results in there being so many unanswered questions by the end. Who are the Knights of Ren? Why are they so feared? Why haven't we heard of Exegol before? Do all the Sith live there, or is it just Palpatine? What is the point of the Sith dagger? What has it done in the past? Who did it belong to? These questions aren't answered, resulting in the movie not feeling like a finale, even though it's the finale to one of the biggest movie franchises of all time. Plus, the build-up in the past isn't paid off at all. Finn and Rose's romance was something The Last Jedi built up, but in this movie, Rose is barely in it. We don't get the payoff built up in the last film. Kylo and Rey's connection through the Force was never really explained and just ended in a forced romance. Also, how did Palpatine survive? Things like these are never really explained, which results in the movie being a mess of unanswered questions. The Rise of the Skywalker failed at being a finale, because it forgot to follow the 3 steps that make a finale. It ended being a horrible film that disappointed me. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the video. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell after you press the subscribe button. That way you get notified when a new video comes out. With all that said, see you guys next time.